Who is free? Not the man with gold, not the man with a throne, not the one they salute when he walks by. Freedom doesn't wear rings, it doesn't shout from the front seat, it doesn't answer to names like sir or senator. The man who is free is the one who owns nothing, because nothing owns him. They took his comfort, he stayed calm. They took his name, he stayed silent. They took his body, he let it go. Because the part of him they wanted was never theirs to touch. He did not bow, he did not burn, he just walked. And chains don't follow men like that. He thinks he's free, because no one beats him, because he signs his own name, because he wears silk and they salute when he enters. But what happens when someone ignores him, when someone takes his seat, when someone doesn't clap? He breaks. Quietly, violently, but he breaks. This man is not free, he's just unchained. His master isn't a man, it's a hunger. A whisper that says, you need to be seen. Some men obey Caesar, others obey praise, or money, or a woman's smile. Different chains, same prison. You call it ambition, they call it success. But it's slavery, dressed in gold. He answers every call, except his own. He fights battles that aren't his, begins wars he didn't start, cracks under pressure from things he said he didn't care about. And when it all slips, he weeps like a man who just found out. He was never the one holding the leash. Not every prison has bars. Some are built from memories, from soft voices, from nights you can't forget. You loved her, you still do. Even after she left, even after she chose someone else, even after she forgot your name. And still, you check, you wait, you wonder. Is that freedom? You hate your boss, but still nod, still stay late, still say thank you for the slack. Is that power? You said you wouldn't care anymore, but when the message doesn't come, you crumble. What owns you isn't out there. It's the part inside you that refuses to let go. Some chains are kisses, some are fears, some are voices from when you were a child, telling you that silence means failure, that rest means weakness. So you work and run and build your name like a tower, but the higher it gets, the more terrified you are falling. Not because of the pain, but because there's nothing waiting underneath. You don't need a cage, you build one. From desire, from image, from the need to not be alone. Everyone has a master. The only question is, did you choose yours? Some obey fame, others obey fear, some bend to beauty, others break under silence. But the only man who is free is the one who obeys himself. Not his feelings, not his cravings, but his judgment. Because judgment is the last line. The one thing no thief can steal, no lover can hold, no tyrant can command. If that is sound, then all else can collapse, and you still stand. People try to control the world, but can't control a thought, can't catch a feeling before it burns, can't stop the word before it cuts. They think they are kings, but are ruled by whatever enters their head first. The man who owns his judgment doesn't fear rejection, doesn't chase applause, doesn't kneel for things not worth kneeling to. You can't threaten that kind of man. You can't buy him. You can barely understand him. Because while you panic about tomorrow, he already decided who he is and what nothing can take from him. Some cages are comfortable. There's food, there's praise, there's even applause. But you're still in a cage. You can roar all you want as long as they say when. You can run, but only where the walls allow. And worst of all, you start to like it. The attention, the certainty, the illusion that you are safe. They call you powerful, but you know what you are, a lion in a cage, and outside is wind, is hunger, is the unknown. So you stay, you learn to smile, to act civilized, to hide your teeth, but something in you still remembers, the wild, the hunt, the truth. That freedom doesn't feel like comfort, it feels like risk, like uncertainty, like being alone with your own mind. The cage lets you keep everything, except yourself. So you must choose a full stomach or a free soul, because you can't have both. Nothing is yours, not the body, not the name, not the ones you love. Everything you hold was given, and anything given can be taken. Your health, alone. Your beauty, alone. Your family, your money, your time, all on loan. And yet, you cling to it, you defend it. You cry when it's called back, as if the world owes you, but it never promised, it just allowed. Like a friend who lets you borrow something precious, with no date but every right to ask for it back. The wise man doesn't say, why me? He says, I knew this day would come, because he never called it his, not even his breath, not even his life. So when the messenger comes with loss, with pain, with silence, he doesn't break, he just bows, because he was never the owner, just a man passing through. Learn to lose. like a victim, like a master. Because loss will come. It doesn't ask, it doesn't knock, it just takes. The question is never if, it's how. How will you stand when it's gone? How will you breathe when it's no longer yours? Some people break, some blame, some fall to their knees and stay there. But the Stoic leans in. He practices in silence, he rehearses letting go. That's why they call it art, because it takes shape, takes time, takes choice. You don't drop things out of weakness, you drop them out of strength. Letting go isn't giving up, it's growing up. It's knowing what's yours and what never was. The art of losing is the art of not needing. Not because you don't feel, but because you felt enough to know nothing external ever made you whole. And so when the day comes, when the thing you love walks away, you don't chase it, you don't scream, you just exhale and walk the other way. Straight, still, whole. Everything can be taken. Your home, your status, your body, even your name. But there is one thing that belongs to you alone, your judgment. Not what happens, but how you see it. Not what they say, but what you decide it means. They can beat your body, they can steal your gold, they can take your job, your family, your future, but they can't touch this unless you hand it over. And most people do, for approval, for a title, for a warm touch in the dark. But the man who keeps it, that man is free. He may be poor, but he chooses what poor means. He may be mocked, but he chooses whether to bite or smile. This is the only power no king can grant, no army can enforce, no tyrant can strip. It is quiet, it is small, it lives just behind your eyes, and in it is everything. Dignity, peace, freedom. So guard it, sharpen it, and when the world comes crashing, hold it like the last fire still burning. In a house already gone cold, build a wall, not around your house, around your mind, because the world will break in if you don't barricade what matters. This wall is not made of stone, it's made of judgment, of principle, of what you've decided is worth standing for. You don't need to scream, you don't need to swing, you just need to hold. Hold your line, hold your calm. Hold your self-respect when they try to buy it with fear or praise. This is your fortress. No keys, no doors, only choice. You don't wait for storms, you live inside the eye. You don't dodge arrows, you train until they don't reach you. And if someone asks, why don't you react like the rest of us? You just smile, because what they don't understand is you've already seen worse and built yourself to outlast it. No matter what breaks outside, inside, you are still. Freedom is not given, it's taken, but not from others, from yourself. You want peace? Let go of being right. You want clarity? Burn the mask. You want to be untouchable? Then let go of everything they can use to touch you, your pride, your need to impress, your desire to be loved by those who never knew you. Because every chain you drop will leave a mark. Friends might leave, comfort might vanish, recognition might never come, but that's the price. Freedom demands you stand alone, not because you're unwanted, but because you no longer seek to be chosen. You no longer wait for applause, you no longer beg for peace, you carry it, and that carrying will cost you. Your old identity, your old habits, your old illusions, but in return you walk light, you sleep deep, you breathe. Like a man who owes nothing, he walked, not to escape, but to return. To what? To himself. No crowd, no anthem, no one cheering at the gate, just dirt under his feet, wind on his face, and a stillness that didn't ask for permission. He wasn't running from the world, he just stopped letting it run him. They called him cold. He smiled, they called him strange, he nodded, they called him alone. But he was not alone. He had his thoughts. He had his will. He had the one thing no one could name, his judgment. And that was enough. Not because it made him powerful, but because it made him free. And when a man becomes free, truly free, he doesn't need a gate or a sword or a flag. He just walks through the storm, through the noise, through the world, untroubled, unwanted, unshaken.